Hello and welcome to the Ramblings of a 42-year-old man. Chris Smith here with you, and today we are going to talk about the recently released film Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. And just right up front, I gotta say, I have a new #1 film of the year so far. Just did my quarter review about 3 or 4 days ago, and Megan had still been sitting up there #1. Well, I gotta say, this one has definitely supplanted as my #1 movie going for so far for the year. I really loved it. It was just really fun, great adventure, great fantasy, great humor to it, and a lot of heart, and just a wonderful time at the movies. Anyone who caught my quarterly review knows that to get high up on my list, it just has to be a good time. You know, you might not be the prestige movies. I really don't care about dramas, the things like that. I really enjoy something that's just fun. And, Megan and Plane and Bullet Train were all really fun movies. This one is the most fun I've had in the theater this year by quite a bit. Enjoyed it a lot. The cast is amazing. The directing is amazing. The story is so much fun. And yeah, so there you go. My new top movie of the year. We'll see how long it sits up there, but I really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to go see this again, possibly as early as tomorrow, because I want to take David and Arlene and Katie to go see it too. Katie's not quite sure, but David and Arlene really want to go see it too, so we will probably try to catch it again this weekend. So it'll be the first multi-viewing I've had this year as well. But let's just get real quick about this one. So, just a Dungeons and Dragons movie. It has nothing to do with any of the other movies that came out early, like the 2000 movie that came out back in the day, the 80s cartoon even. Obviously, those are all based around the game of Dungeons and Dragons. This is as well. And any sort of connection to those are purely, because of the game. I will say there's a really cool scene at one point where they're all running through this maze, and there's other characters running through it as well, and those characters end up in like a cage area, and they're all wearing the same costumes that the 80s cartoon Dungeons and Dragon characters were wearing. So that was kind of a cute little call out to that 80s cartoon. But so Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is directed by John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein. Now, John Francis Daley, he is, to me, much better known as an actor. Many people may know him from Freaks and Geeks back in the early 2000s, where he played the character of Sam. I personally know him mostly from the TV show Bones, where he played Dr. Sweets, is kind of a psychologist that's working with, the David Boreanaz character and the Bones character. And I'm sorry, Emily Deschanel. Her name was like blanking for some reason. Emily Deschanel. And he acted like 140 episodes of that show. So I think of him as an actor. But this team with him and Jonathan Goldstein has done some pretty good directing. So this is their third directorial feature behind 2018's Game Night, which is also a really underrated, just fun comedy with some adventure kind of to it movie. So you can definitely see where they kind of had the chops building on that and then getting into something bigger like this. Prior to that, they did kind of the requel of National Lampoon's Vacations, with Ed Helms kind of playing the Rusty character, all grown up and having his own family. They also both were writers on Spider-Man: Homecoming, the first of the MCU Spider-Man movies. So definitely branching out into some bigger things, and I think they did a wonderful job on this movie, not only with the directing, but the writing as well. Really good. And then you get in the cast, and the cast is just unbelievable, and they're all having a great time. So you have Chris Pine. He's kind of playing a bard type character. He's the leader of this little group of characters you have. It plays out, very similar to a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. So kind of the head of this little crew is a bard character played by Chris Pine. His best friend is kind of this barbarian kind of character played by Michelle Rodriguez. They have a friend who is a wizard, and that is Justice Smith, doing a really cute job. And then there's a druid played by Sophia Lillis, who was really big, kind of blew up on the market with It, the two It movies. Hugh Grant is in there playing a fun role for him. He's definitely having a good time. You can tell he's chewing up all the scenery around him and just having a great time. You got Reggie Jean Page is in there playing a paladin character, and so it's just all these characters are coming together. There's a team, and there's some people coming in and out, but your main core four would be the Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, and Sophia Lillis, and they were just so much fun to watch. And you can tell everybody seems to be having a great time. I hope they were, because they sure look like they're all having a great time, and they're playing their roles perfectly, and just really enjoyable to watch. So the directing, the writing, the acting, everything was just really up there for me. So I had an amazing time there. I laughed a lot. I enjoyed the action adventure portion of it. The end of the movie, I even was tearing up at some point. So I mean, it's got everything. So and as you may be able to tell, since I'm going to take Katie and David hopefully to it, all ages could enjoy this. I don't think there's anything like the violence that is in this is kind of cartoon, but there's not, almost every MCU movie has way more violence than what this movie would have. So definitely something you can take the family to, and I would think that they would really, really enjoy it. So yeah, really high on my list. Obviously, number one for the year for me. Highly recommend, and it is still in theaters. It's been out about a week now. I think it's doing pretty well. I know the reviews, I'm not the only one who's loved it, so I know it's doing really well word of mouth wise, so I hope that anybody watching who has not had a chance to get out there, please do so. Support it. I would love to see these characters in more things, so I would love it if this movie did well enough that they would choose to make more. So really, really enjoyed it. Really, really hope everybody else would jump out there and enjoy it as well. But thank you for listening as always, and I will ramble again with you soon. Bye.